Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library and the Guiding Ohio Online Grant. This is Shelley, and after almost 2 months of going through the different tabs with Microsoft Word, we are in the last session where we were going to do some review and talk about some of the shortcuts as a refresher of what's available. So what I've got behind me here, I'm pulling that up as I have a document that I have created, and I want to just talk real briefly here. This area here in the center is what we refer to as the document window. And when you open up and make a new document, that would be blank, just like a piece of paper looks. And then what we have across the top is we have our tabs, which is the different areas that we went through every week. And the most used tab is the Home tab, which is where we are currently located. And then what we have below here is the ribbon with all the different groupings. And then within those groupings, you have your down arrows with different items and options that can be added. Across the top, you have a ruler that's viewable, and you have a vertical ruler as well. So you have a horizontal and a vertical ruler. At the bottom down here, we have what is referred to as our status bar, telling us that we have one page here. There's 26 words on the page, and it's in English. And then over here on the right-hand side, we have our what is referred to as the view toolbar. So we are currently looking at print layout, which is the most common, but there is the web layout, outline, and draft. And then there is the zoom option here. And I have this zoomed in so that it makes it more viewable as we are recording. But this is only changing the appearance and the look. It is not changing the actual physical size of anything on the page. So what I've done here is, so we could just talk real briefly about a couple quick tools that are used very often, is I have a sentence typed, and you'll notice in this sentence I have typed, I have an underline down below. And that underline area down below is telling me that I have a spelling error. Now I can go up to the top, and I can go to and I can actually go to my toolbar, and I can or up to tools I should say, and I could run spell check, or I can do what is referred to as a right click, or on a Windows machine, or a control click on a Mac computer. And when I click on that, what happens is it comes up with my suggestion. So I never have to even go take my hands off of the keyboard. So I could automatically then change this over to the word volleyball. Or I could have simply just clicked back into that area and changed it as well. Now, down below, I have another sentence I like to went to the game, and how do you like to go to the game? These obviously are grammar mistakes. If I go up to my tools and I go to spelling and grammar and I do a check, spelling and grammar is complete. So it is not catching those. Sometimes with what I have found is with grammar check, it does catch things, and sometimes it does not. So if I were to change this and say I would simply need to click behind my word, or I like to go to the game is what my wording should be. If I were to click on this, once it puts the cursor there. If I click twice, it highlights the word. So I could just simply type go to the game. And how do you like? This should be do. Again, I'm going to click, double click, so it highlights the whole word. Do you like? Again, click, double click, and it would be like to go to the game. So in this instance, it did not catch my grammar mistakes. Grammar mistakes this was a red underline. The grammar mistakes should be a green underline, is what I should have had appear. And again, with a grammar mistake, if it's catching that grammar mistake, I could right click on it and I would get options, or like I said, on a Mac, I would control click and get those options. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to go through is, that's just kind of a brief example and a brief refresher of some of the basics we've went through. What I'd like to look at is the shortcuts and kind of review those. So I'm going to bring up a different document here. And again, I have this document, and I think I have it scrolled big enough. We'll just go about as big as we can. There we go. So we've got that document now. And the first thing that I would wanted to bring up is the first shortcut is, say I've got this document and for some reason I want to copy this whole document. The best and quickest shortcut to do that is to do a Control A, and I would highlight the whole document. So by highlighting the whole document, everything is there. Now, if I do a Control C, I will have it copied. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click here at the bottom. I'm going to hit the return key, and I am going to do a Control B. So now it took everything that I had copied the first time and it pasted it in. So Control C copies, Control V paste. If I were to click here, I'm going to just double click on this word. If I do a Control X, it's going to cut that word out. And then a Control Z, say I made that mistake. Nope, I don't want to cut that out. It's going to undo what I had done before. Control Y will redo. So again, Control C copies, Control X cuts, Control V pastes, Control Z undoes or undo, and then Control Y will redo something. So we talked about then to save. Again, what they tell you is when you are removing your hands from your keyboard, that's taking a little bit of time. So what these shortcuts do is basically a time saver. So I can just really quick, I could go Control S, and it's automatically going to save my document. So then here I can hit save, instead of going up here to the top and having to go to save with my little icon. Control S saves. Control P, if I do Control P, I'm going to be able to pop up to print quickly. Again, I can do the same thing by going up to the top to my little print icon, but Control P will print it. And then some of the others, shortcuts that are used might be if you've got a long document that you've maybe typed and all of a sudden you realize I know that I have spelled a word wrong, or I have used the wrong term that I might want to use. If I can do a Control F, what that does is you'll notice up here in the corner, it brought up my Finder. So what I can do is in here, I could type a word, and I'm going to just type the word word, and notice what happened is it highlighted every single case of the word that is in my document. So that can be very helpful and beneficial as well. And then the last few shortcuts that I'm going to talk about here, I'm going to click on this, close that up, is just the fact that, say for example, I wanted to take this paragraph here and I wanted to make that all bold. I can highlight that. I could go up here to B, but I could also do a Control B for bold. I can do Control I for italics. I can do Control U for underline. An easy way to find those options is when you are clicking on different I'm going to go back here. Let's go to, trying to see where I could go. Let's, for an example, if I go to any of these shortcut areas here, what'll happen is it comes up and it pops up and it actually gives me the suggestions. And I was looking to see where I could see those at. Right here under edit. If I notice under edit here, I've got Control Z to undo, Control Y to repeat, Control X, Control C, and all of those options will pop up and be visible to me when I go there. Same thing if I go under File. I've got Control N will give me a new document. Control W will close up my window. So if I were to go Control N, I'm going to get a new document popped up. So if you pay attention to these little information that is out to the right-hand side, you can find many of the shortcuts will show up there that are available to you. So that is basically Microsoft Word. Like I said, we've done this for the last actually about 8 sessions. So if you would like to go back and look at any of them, they're all available on the Putnam County YouTube page. And next week, we will begin a new session and we will step away from Microsoft Word since we've been working on this and looking at this for quite a long length of time. So wish everyone a good week, and we'll see you soon.